Okay. I think we are live. Hey man, say man. Oh God. Mm, mm, mm. I I think we're good, bro. We're gonna be finishing the audio processing. So what's going on here? Why is it in light mode? Okay. Hmm. Okay. Play play again sometime, man. Uh I don't really think there's time to play games. Plus, what game are we gonna play? Oh, little baby dropped a vlog. I really like this. I like that. I don't think there's any game for us to play. Maybe we can play chess. Maybe we can play chess. I don't know. Yeah, I think we can play chess if you guys are interested. Um, I don't really play like so much games. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to say. I don't play a lot of games for sure, for sure. Mm, 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 mm. Bro, can you show your actual project look like? Okay, I will show you my actual project. I think you've been seeing like the entire back end, right? We haven't connected it once to the front end. I'm gonna do that. Yo, sound up, my boy was good. How you doing, bro? I don't, I don't really play games like that. I'm not like big on games. I'm not big. Hey boys, listen, listen. As soon as you join the live, bro, consider liking the live. You understand? That should be the first thing you should do. As soon as you jump on the live, like the live, share it to people if you want to, your friends whatsoever. Let's get this shit working, brothers. It's good, man. How's it going? Everything is cool. Everything is cool. Everything is pretty fine. Pretty fine. Pretty fine. Consider liking the live, brother. So, um, I think we can get to the grind, right? We can. I don't think. Can we play chess? Can we play one game chess? Yeah. Let me open the door. Welcome. That's here. Mine is here. I took the new one. I took the new one. Yeah. Jam going the easy. By the way, you can be chicken though. You can be chicken. It's anonymous. I think both of us it will depend, but I'm still streaming, so yeah, I just started actually. Just now. I just reached. No, I meant I'm joking. Why would I lie to you? Look at it. You want for example? Yeah, jam go you the you know? I said get you the Hey, okay. All right. Yes, sir. Yeah, yeah. I see what you're doing there, my boy. I see what you're doing. All right. Let's see what's going on here. What's going on chess? Hey, man, long time, my brother. No, 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 right? No, no, that's not. Uh, what are you saying, bro? It's been a long time for real. So I think I could start by like showing you guys the actual front end of the application that I'm working on. Right. So let me just open Vercel so I can show you guys the actual front end. All right. Can we go here to projects? I think it's right here. Okay. This is the one. Wait, not the. Yep, yes. Cool. What the hell? Yep, this is the domain. All right. So as you can see, this is it. This is it. This is the actual app. Boys, I say, go ahead and like the live, bro. Like, what are you doing, bro? You're gonna piss me off, man. Okay. All right. Okay, that's enough. So as you can see, this is the front end for the app that we are building. Mm, yeah, I'm done with the front end. I'm done with the front end. I'm not done, not like completely done, but for the most part. And I think how I'm coding it, I just want to code the entire backend so that we can just come to the front end. Connecting with the front end is going to be walk on the park, you know. By the end of this month, which is March, by March 28th or 29th or 30th, we shall be done. All right. This application will be up and running. This is why we are coding every single day. You feel what I'm saying? So I pray you guys don't get tired of seeing me because I'm gonna be pulling up every single day. You feel me? Anyways, my boys, let's see what we are gonna be doing today. We could just play one game of chess to see, bro. I have one question. I've created a CRF token or something. How do I get the response and get a new token every time? Mm, I think you are speaking about let me see. Yeah, CRF. Is it like cookies? I talk about JWT authentication. You need to create something called access token and refresh token. Access token is going to take you about I think for access token it should just be short-lived, right? Access token is what the let's say you have like a get request to set an endpoint, which is going to be, boys, you guys will have to excuse me for my typing speed because I'm too trash. Okay. Okay, let's say you have an endpoint that is going to be like slash API slash users, right? Every time you hit this endpoint, you need to ask the user, we're just going to do like this, right? Soon as we hit this endpoint slash API slash users, let me reduce this a little bit. What am I doing? Soon as we, oh God, yep, soon as we hit this endpoint, we're going to do this, right? We're going to ask for two things, right? The first thing is, do you have permission to access this? All right. And then the second question is whether or not we have the permission, right? So here, if the answer is yes, right? I think we can have something like this. The answer is yes. If you have permission, right? How do we check for permission here? We need to check for the cookies, right? And then we make sure the person has the access token, right? And then this access token is going to be short-lived, right? It could be just like let's say 15 or let's say just 1 hour, which will be 60 seconds, right? I mean 60 minutes, which will be 360 seconds. 3060 seconds like this. 3600 seconds. That is actually 1 hour, right? And then that as long as they have this access token within the header, right? Within the request header, then go ahead and allow them in, right? Let them log in, right? Uh decisions is actually represented by this. Decision is represented by this. Okay, so that is that. And then if the answer is no, right here, that means we should log them in. This is just going to log them in, log in. All right. This is going to log them in. Or else we are just going to send them to the what? Boom. If the answer is no, right? If they don't have refresh token, we're going to send them to slash register, right? This could be slash user slash me, and then we check for the access token, right? And then later, if you don't want to like keep checking for that access token every time, you're going to have to do refresh token, right? This refresh token can be like 7 days, right? This can be 7 days uh or maybe a week or a year or whatsoever, you know, depending on how you want to curate you want to design your authentication, right? So this one is short-lived. This is short-lived. And this one, a refresh token, it is going to be long-lived. And the reason why it's long-lived is because you're not going to have to authenticate them every time, right? This is like if you want to implement multiple device login, you want to log in with like a laptop, with a phone, with computer, and you want to store the logged in user information, something like that. That's when you'll have like this refresh token. And now for the access token, you'll have to keep I mean the refresh token, you'll have to keep track of like rotating them, access token rotation or refresh refresh token rotation. Like it's just going to be a lot of work for you to do. So I think you'll have to look into that, my boy. We're not going to get into the technical part for now today. All right. So this is where we're going to stop with this access token and stuff that you asked about. Let me hope I was able to at least give you some idea, right? Mm-hmm. All right, so let's continue from where we left off. I mean, how log out comment. I don't know what you're asking, but I can show you using my own application here. Just give me a sec. Let me show you using my own application. Mm, okay, I'm going to show you using my own application here. Close all tabs. Which other tab do we have open? Let me close Spotify. All right. So this is what we have going on. Let me just show you using this. Let me run this. This is going to fail. It's going to fail because obviously Docker is not running. So let's open Docker Compose. Let's run Docker. Okay, this session is going to be about authentication. Not really. It's not going to be about authentication. This session is just we are continuing from where we left off yesterday, which is finishing the audio processing part. Today we're actually going to create a new worker, and I mean we're going to create a worker, FFmpeg. Yeah, a worker that is going to be running FFmpeg that will process the audio files that we have already on S3 bucket. It will download them from a S3 bucket, and then once it's done once it's done processing them, it will give us like the preview. And yeah, I'll show you as we keep going. Just give it a second. Okay, we have this working. I have authentication already in place, but I just want to show this guy. I just want to show this guy like the entire authentication flow because he was asking about it. Okay, so we have this authentication flow going. Let me go ahead and open this config, and everything starts from here, from security config. So what's going on here is that we are protecting, right? Here's just a filter. This is like a filter. This is how Spring Security handles that. And this is just, we're not going to be dealing with CSRF right now. So I just made it disabled for now. But later, once we want to go live with the application, we can just make this CSRF, we can take care of it, right? That is that, right? As you can see, every endpoint here is protected except API v1 and auth, right? All of these ones should not be protected because we are going to require login anyway. So they are by default going to be protected, but we don't want to protect them here. We're just going to permit them all, right? And later we can even go ahead and permit, like, let's say public pages, which will be like the browse page of the application. Like for example, here, let me show you this part here. We are going to make this public, right? So we shall not require authentication for that. Okay, let's go back here so I can just show you guys. All right, now this is the JWT. I think you already know about that. Now the main important part here is happening in authentication controller. As you can see, within the controller, we have this API/v1/auth, and then register, and we have login. Now the login is what will have a lot of logic, right? For logging in here, we are checking this from the authentication manager. We want to get a new user. As long as they give us their identifier, which is like the username or email, and the password, then we are going to go ahead and get the token from this token service. Then now here we are just returning everything as HTTP only. Within the cookies, we are saying HTTP only is true, and then secure is false. And now during production, I just always I like to add this kind of comments so I don't forget. When we are trying to make this application, we are trying to push it into production, we are going to turn this into true, right? So that this can be secure. And then path is just empty, and then maximum edge is like what I said, this should be 306. This is like 60 minutes, which is 1 hour, but in seconds. As soon as 1 hour expires, this is going to log out the user. We're going to require authentication again. And then same side, this should be strict. This is for cookies. And then build it. Now that's all. And after that, we just return this within the headers. We say headers.set cookie. We just set this entire cookie. Then we pass in this cookie.toString. And then that is all. Like, we pass in a message called logged in, login successful. The same applies for logout. For logout here, we are just going to make this maximum age to like 0. This is almost like the refresh, oh, I mean the access, whatever token or whatever you call it, but we are storing it in cookies. So this cookie here is going to expire in like 60, I mean in 0 seconds. So I want to put 0, that means as soon as we click it, we terminate the access from the user. So that's all. I don't think there's anything else you want to know, my boy. That's why I'm gonna stop like explaining security and stuff like that. So I'm gonna close this and we can continue grinding, I think we are moving very well. If I open my Notion right now, we are really moving good, bro. We are moving good. So let me see. Yesterday we stopped on, yeah, we are supposed to start working on this week 2 audio processing pipeline. We need to configure RabbitMQ, then we create a job publisher, then we create a worker service, we download audio from S3, then we integrate with FFmpeg and all that. So for now, we are just going to be configuring RabbitMQ, creating the job publisher and the work service. I think that's all we're going to be doing today. God. So that is all, my boys. Let me first put this off for now. How about hashing the password? Interesting. So let me show you how the password is being hashed here within the config. Security. Here we are using this bcrypt. I think you've used bcrypt a lot, right? So this is how we are hashing the password using bcrypt, and then we are using it within the services here. If we go here to auth service, you will see that for the login, register is fine. Now for login, I'm going to login. Where is login for now? This is creating a user. Okay, so this is what's happening. When we register a user, we say we actually are hashing the password because we are trying to store them in a database. So it's not going to be for the login, it's just for the register. So here we first check if the user exists by email in our database, and then we also check if the user exists by username, and then from there we just use this DTO to entity conversion, to take the information that the user gave us, which is the input form from the front end. And then here we are setting the password. We are first encoding the password. Or in other words, we are hashing the password using bcrypt. And bcrypt uses, I think, H256, something like that, if I'm not mistaken. H256, if I'm not mistaken. H256 or mark, something like that. H mark, yeah. H mark SHA-256, something like that. That's what's happening. So as here we are getting this, as you can see, we are getting this user from, we are converting from DTO to entity, and then using this entity, which is the user now, we are setting the password of the user to the encoded one here, and then we are grabbing that password that we get from the user, and then we are encoding it using bcrypt. I think that's it. Now this is the hashing part of it. And this is like the beauty of Spring Boot, bro. Look how it just makes everything very easy. And we are saving the user to the database. Why are we using here serve and flash so that we can have the timestamps? If we just use repository.save, it's not going to show us the timestamps, the time the user was registered or updated or whatever. And then we just return the saved user back to the controller, and then the controller is just going to accept it here. Yeah, SHA-256. Yes, I started with Nest.js and I have used it. Yeah, so that's it. That's it. That is bcrypt, bro. The thing is beautiful, bro. So that's all for authentication. This authentication flow, it might look easy, but it's complex, bro. It's a lot that went into this authentication flow, but it's good now. So we have most of the part. If you can see, we have, this is like we are generating tokens. which is a cookie bearer token. And here, this is a token service. Then the user service, this is just to grab the username and stuff like that. So it's a lot that went into it, my boys. You get it? I just didn't want to bore you guys. That's the reason why I had to do it offline first. Okay, we are good to go. Let me see what else do we need today. Today we're going to be creating the RabbitMQ. So we need to configure RabbitMQ. So I need to add two systems, right? Within here, we're going to create another module as well. I'm here, no module. And this module is going to be audio processor, or we can say FFmpeg Walker. Okay, this is going to be Maven, Java 21, YAML, Spring Boot. Go ahead and add this. Here we are going, I don't think we're going to expose endpoints. I don't think we're going to expose endpoints, but let's just add Docker, compose, and RabbitMQ. What else? We are going to add Postgres. We are going to add some, I don't think we're going to need input validation. Hmm. Okay, what else? We have RabbitMQ, we have Docker Compose, we have Postgres driver. Oh God, what else? What else? Hmm. What's going on with my internet, bro? Is it me? Is it tripping? Oh, it's fine. It looks fine, bro. There's no drop frames. Why is it tripping? Okay. Let me have a look at what else we need to take care of. Okay, let me just run this for now. Let me just run that for now. Okay. So as you can see, we have another module within the, we have another, almost like another Spring Boot app within the Spring Boot. So the architecture in Spring Boot follows controller, service, and module. Yeah, for sure. That is, and by the way, it's flexible. You can decide to follow what you want, but the default one, it's that's the one. So we are going to be within this FFmpeg Walker. What else? How should I call this? Yeah, we need this database information. So here we have the default information. I'm not going to use this default information. I'm just going to go here to this compose, and I'll probably just grab this entire information. This is going to be for the worker. So I'm just going to copy this and paste it here. Paste this. Here I'm just going to call this daddy bucket. No, this is actually FFmpeg worker PG. This is the database, that's the container, and then this is going to be DB, which is the database. Password can remain the same. This can also remain just like that, but I'm going to have to use this PG here. Just add data here, and then copy this entire thing, paste it here. So I think this is fine. This is really fine. So since we are going to be running them at the same time, I'm just going to make this to run on port 3, and also this is going to be running on 3 as well. Should we check? We're going to be communicating with the same database. RabbitMQ, bro. In tech, it's like being in course instead of. Okay, let me show you what RabbitMQ is. RabbitMQ. So RabbitMQ is a message broker, and this is how RabbitMQ works, right? For RabbitMQ, we're going to have, it's like publish, right? Pub sub method. We're going to have producers. That is like asynchronous programming, right? We're going to have consumers here. And then here, this is going to be the broker exchange, right? we're going to have a broker exchange. This is going to be a broker. All right, let me just put the broker somewhere here. And then within the broker, we are going to have, I think we can just have this here and also these queues here, right? So this is what's happening. These queues will have smaller boxes inside them, something like this, something like that. This is how RabbitMQ works. All right, we're gonna have something like that. Now, these are gonna be producers, right? Producers. Why is it small like that? Should I make this? Oh, this is unnecessarily big, bro. God, this is unnecessarily bulky. All right, I just leave it at that. Cool. Gonna have producers, something like this. So this is what's happening. We have producers and we have consumers. Right? So this is like asynchronous programming. What's gonna happen here? Producers will just will make a request, right? Or they will just produce events, right? Because this is event-driven architecture. Producers will create events, and let's say, for example, say like our producer, if we look here, our main producer is this application, the main application, and then the worker here is actually the consumer, right? Our application will be the main producer that will produce events telling our consumer that, hey, or telling our entire queue or RabbitMQ that, hey, I am done processing. I mean, I'm done uploading the audio to S3 bucket. Now it's your turn to grab those audio files and then process them. That's what's happening. Now we're gonna have producers here, and then we are going to have queue, the queue here, right? This entire place here is called, let me put this here. This entire place here is called a broker. Now what's happening within the broker, there's a concept of queues, and there is concept of exchange, right? There's concept of exchange. All right, so what's happening here? This can be binding, really. We're just gonna have binding, and this entire concept, this entire broker here is the exchange, right? This is the exchange. So what's happening here is that we are making producers will let our entire queue know that, hey, I'm done, right? I'm done uploading audio to S3 bucket. And then our broker here will grab whatsoever message that this one just added to us of uploading audio to S3 bucket. Then this will just go to any binding here. And then this binding will be the one that will distribute the messages to different queues, right? Because here we can have multiple queues. We might have like 10 queues here or one queue. It will distribute it to every queue uh, according to the binding key, right? So every queue here, I mean, yep, this is going to happen. Like you're going to have here, this will be Q1, this will be Q2, this will be Q3. And then this binding here, producer will give us our binding key, right? To say, hey, go to the event of audio processing done. Then audio processing done will look at the worker here, and then I mean at the queue, and then the consumer will just come to the queue and say, hey, how many items do you have here? I need to start processing. Okay, we can have consumers here. We might have like 10 workers, right? I'm just adding one, but we can have like 100 workers or whatsoever workers given the job that we need, right? I'm gonna have something like this, and then they will continue scouting the entire queue to see how many items they need to work on. Now, let's say I want to work on processing audio. Okay, this other consumer wants to work on processing images. So as you can see, there is no tight coupling at all. Everything is like is decoupled, right? The producers don't care about the consumers. Consumers don't care about the producers, right? Everything is happening within the broker exchange here. You get it? So that is like the entire idea of RabbitMQ, really. So that was a short, quick course on RabbitMQ. If you want to learn more about RabbitMQ, you can always check the docs. And that's what I normally do these days. I just say RabbitMQ Spring. And then I go, you can see here it's already on Spring IO, or you can check Apache Central or whatever other links are here. I like to use these guys. These guys, they explain better than even Spring themselves. So yeah, these guys, they explain these concepts better. But except they don't have dark mode. I don't know why, bro. Maybe these Java guys, they be old, they be too old, and they just use this light mode everywhere, bro. My eyes are bleeding already. Matter of fact, let me put this on like, god damn, my eyes are bleeding. Oh Lord. Lord, that's too much. So you can just come here and see what's happening. You can set up this in Docker. This is the same thing we have on Docker Compose, by the way. The same thing we have here. The same thing we have here is what is within this, right? So if I go back right now and I run this application, if I run this application right now, you see what's gonna happen. Okay, that is up and running. Container RabbitMQ, as you can see. Okay, so we are up and running. Now, if I hit this endpoint, I mean, this is not an endpoint, but this is a port. This is 15672, right? If I go to 15672, see what's gonna happen. 15, I think we can just open. Yep, it's there. 15672. Now it will give us this RabbitMQ portal here, right? And then we have to use this same exact login information that we have here. This is filthy and filthy pass. I'm just gonna copy these two and I'm gonna paste them here. Now I am going to save them so I don't have to keep writing them every time, right? We have connections here. We currently don't have any connection. Also, we currently don't have any queue, but we can just go and build that queue straight. So let's follow what's going on here. We have that already. We already added that to our worker. So we need it both on our worker and our producer, right? We need to add this Spring Boot thing. I think that is it. And then we'll use the Spring Boot's auto configuration to create our connection factory, Rabbit template, and Rabbit admin beans. As a result, we'll get a connection to our Rabbit broker on port using the default or whatsoever. So I think that is that. Now here we just create a queue like this. In order to create our queue, we simply define a bean type queue. Rabbit admin will find this and bind it to the default exchange with a routing key of my queue. So we're going to create something like this. Queue, my queue, return new queue, return my queue. This is the binding key, right? I mean, these are the binding key. I mean, this is the routing key, actually, not the binding key. Uh, we'll set the queue to be non-durable so that the queue and any messages on it will be removed when RabbitMQ is stopped. So if we set this as false, that means it will be removed, right? I think that makes sense. Let's just go back here and try to add, I think it's within our, okay, something like this. We can go here, Java, and then config. And here we can just say RabbitMQ, right? Rabbit MQ config, something like that. All right, Rabbit MQ config. And then within this config, we need to annotate it with that configuration, right? Obviously, every config, we need to annotate it with configuration. So we're going to just add here, add configuration. All right. Oh God, what's happening? So we have that. Now we need to just have a bean, and then we're going to have public type q, as you can see, q of q. We're just going to call it q. It's not taking anything as a parameter. Then we're just going to return new q. Yep. Oh God, what's that? What's that? How are we returning the okay, we're returning new q and then q is false. What's going on here? Oh, parameterized. What's that? Row used of this. Oh, how are we using it raw? Okay, let's see what's happening. A collection designed for holding elements prior to processing besides basic collection, returns keys provided this, that. Oh, okay. So we need to say return new queue No, that's we actually supposed to use this queue. So let me see which queue we are using here. Not Java queue, dog. We're actually supposed to use the one that is coming from RabbitMQ. So queue that is from RabbitMQ. Not like that, boy. Not the client one. Say queue. RabbitMQ annotation. Could it be this? Nope. Yeah, I think this is the one. Yep, that's the one. We'll return this queue. And within here, we're just going to have my queue as the routing key, my queue, and then it's going to be false, right? That means it's not durable. I don't know why my internet is kind of tripping. Uh, okay, that is that. What else do we need to configure? And then we can send our message. Let's use Rabbit template to send our hello world message. So we're going to have rabbit template dot convert and send. We're going to have my queue hello world, and then we consume the message from our consumer. Notice how this is now the producer, right? This is what we're going to use to send our messages of like, hey, audio is already done, right? So go ahead and start processing it. Now the consumer here is going to be our worker, right? All right, we're gonna have something like this. That is the config. I think within the config, I might have service here called RabbitMQ service. Oh, it should be a controller. I think it should be a controller. Should be a controller, I think. You see, this should be within a controller. Yeah, this can be a controller or a service. Let's just leave it as a service. So I'm going to come here and say RabbitMQ service. Okay, RabbitMQ service. And within the service here, I just annotate this with at service. At service, okay. And I think argument required, so we don't have to do any extra stuff. Then we can have private final rabbit template as rabbit template. And we also need to get our queuing. Here we are sending this to the queue. That's interesting. And we are just going to print this as our message, right? Consumer our message. We'll implement a message consumer by annotating a method with rabbit listen. Oh, that's going to be our consumer. All right, so that's not our business. I think we're just going to send this message called hello world using our routing key, right? And then we shall consume it from here. So, all right, let's have that. I think I'm just going to have a bean. I don't think this should be a bean. Let's see what's happening here. All right, this is RabbitMQ, Rabbit template. So I think here we can just create public. I think we might return string, and then we're just going to have send message. And then we're going to send message. And then within the send message, we're just going to have rabbit template dot convert and send. And we are sending to my queue, which is what we defined as a bean. And then we can just pass in that message. Now, this message can be hello world, can be anything, right? What's going on? This should return a string. I think it should return this. What's going on here? A string, let's just say hello world. Hello world. I don't know why I'm complicating things here, bro. I don't know why I'm complicating things here. I think I can just have this as RabbitMQ, Rabbit template. Lord, how we gonna do it, bro? Yo, Sugar Shetty, what's up, bro? How you doing, my brother? We're having a hard time here trying to follow this, right? Rabbit send our hello. We're going to have rabbit template.convert and send. Can we just do it here within this? Let me see. Can we just do it within this configuration? Nope. Hmm. Let's say rabbit template. Let's say public. We are not returning anything. Good. And also we are not taking anything as well as a parameter. Good. And then let's say, yep, rabbit and rabbit template dot convert and send. Now here we are sending to our queue, which is, I mean, using our routing key. Good. And then we can have hello world. Yep, the object is hello world. As you can see, routing key plus the object. So now it's correct. All right. Now we need to you need to be able to use this send message thing method. So we can use it within the controller. Within a controller? Within a controller? Hold on. What are we going to be using? We are going to be using consume our message. So this is going to be our consumer, and the queues will be my queue, public void listen, string in. I don't know what in stands for. I don't know. Message read from queue. All right, but you guys get the point. I think that. If we try to run this application again, RabbitMQ service is never used. Okay, I want to test this. Let me just ask AI for some help. Sugar Shitty, my brother, what's good, man? We are having some issues with how you wanna test Rabbit. Okay, could you guide us? Okay, so we have that. We have our config. I'm gonna remove this, and we have our compose, and then this is a whole. This is a whole other module within the current spin up that we added to act as a worker or consumer from another. uh, Okay, I think this will make more sense now. This will make more sense. So let's go back to this worker and then let's try to see what we need. Yep, this is a whole other worker. So I'm just gonna grab this and paste it here so AI can guide us. And then let's go back here. Then we can pick this as well. So tell me what you think about everything so far. Okay, let's see what AI is gonna tell us. Mm. Mm, 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 mm. Mm, mm, mm. Mm. My nose is stuffed, boys. Can't lie. My nose is too stuffed, bro. Mm, 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 mm. Okay. Ooh, yeah, it's coming with is mostly correct, but there are several architectural and operational issues that will create friction once you move beyond a simple test. I'll go through it in layers. Docker topology, product service, worker service, queue design, and testing strategy. Docker Compose design. Major issue. Both have define their own Docker Compose with the same container. This is problematic because two apps trying to start the same container means RabbitMQ should uh mm, two apps trying to start the same container now. Trying to start the same container now. RabbitMQ should be shared architecture. Worker plus API should connect to the same broker instance. Correct architecture, RabbitMQ within Docker, API server, producer, Spring Worker consumer. Worker will be the consumer. So this is a producer, this is a consumer. Our recommendation, have one infrastructure compose file. So this is going to be the entire infrastructure compose file. Mm. Mm. Then run Docker compose, both apps connect to that broker. Okay, I think that makes sense. Um, okay. This uses the default exchange, which is fine for testing, but not production architecture. Okay, let's continue watch. So first off, I think we need to just cut this straight, right? We need to cut this off straight. Let me first close this for now. I'm going to close everything here, and I'm going to remove this compose file from here. Okay, since we are going to be using one compose, we might as well. Okay, we're going to be using this one compose file, which is nice. And then here we are just going to connect. We're going to try to connect to that as well. So let's try to restart this entire application. Okay, that is fine. Then we say Docker Compose app, both apps connect to that broker. Then proper RabbitMQ design, producer, exchange, routing key, queue, consumer. So this is a flow I don't want to forget. So I'm going to have to add it to my my board. I'm going to have to add it like this. So this should always be the correct RabbitMQ design. Okay. We're always going to have producer, exchange, routing key, and queue. So that's what we're always going to be having. Let's continue moving, my boys. I think I should save this. Yeah, I'm just going to say rabbit and queue. Save this. Okay. What else do we need to do? All right. So here, what's happening is that we need the correct Spring config. So RabbitMQ configuration, we're going to have static final. Okay, public static final. That means it will not change. Static means it cannot be used outside the class. I think that makes sense. Okay, we're gonna have string queue, audio processing queue, audio exchange, and audio process. Wait, routing key is audio process. The exchange is the audio exchange, and the queue is audio processing queue. Hmm. Audio process. Audio process, that's the routing key. All right, I'm going to grab this and I'll say, explain to me this thoroughly. I think we need to open, I don't know if we should use Claude for this. Let's use Claude for the explanation or whatsoever we don't understand. So let's go here. I'm just gonna say, explain to me. Bro, what's not happening? Oh God, what's happening with Claude also? Okay, bro, come on, bro. Uh, I can't believe, bro, like a whole application like Claude cannot open up. What's the issue? I don't want to subscribe. Hmm, wait a minute. I don't know. This is so tempting, bro. Well, this subscription is so tempting. I can't lie, bro. Hold on. For $3 a month, I'm getting Google AI Plus. God. It's okay. I'm gonna add this. I'm just gonna say explain. Yes. Hmm. No plus. Okay. Mm. This Java configuration file sets up the plumbing for RabbitMQ messaging system using a Spring Boot. It defines how messages flow from a producer to a specific queue. Okay. The component queue audio.processing.queue. This is the destination. It holds the messages until a consumer is ready to process them. Think of it as a mailbox. Okay. This is the entry point exchange. Wait, this is the mailbox. The destination, it holds messages until a consumer is ready to process them. And then the exchange, audio exchange. This is the entry point. Producers don't send messages directly to queues. They send them to exchanges. Wait, producers do not send, they don't send messages directly to queues. They send them to exchanges. The exchange acts as a router. Okay, producers don't send messages directly to queues. They send them to exchanges. The exchange acts as a router. Okay, now the routing key, audio process. This is the address on the envelope. It tells the exchange exactly where the messages need to be. So I think this is like the same exact analogy here. If you look at it, we're supposed to have this exchange. This is like the entire exchange, and this is supposed to be the routing key. I think routing key or binding key is still the same, right? If I'm not mistaken, I think it's the same exact thing. We have queue, exchange, and routing key, and the routing key is going to be the binding key as well. So yeah, so every we have a producer is going to send messages here to the entire exchange, and then from there, according to the routing key, we shall have to route to different queues to the specific queue. So that makes sense. So this one is the queue. We have audio processing queue. The same applies here. We can have this queue as audio processing queue. This will be the image processing queue. Okay. What else? This is going to be the routing key. We have audio process. Audio process. This is the address on the envelope. It tells the exchange exactly where the message needs to go. All right. The logic admin tells the Spring to create a physical queue in RabbitMQ if it doesn't already exist. Okay. Exchange creates a topic exchange. This type of exchange is flexible. It routes messages to queues based on wildcard matches. Wait. This queue tells Spring to create a physical queue in RabbitMQ if it already doesn't. Okay, this tells it to create a queue. And then exchange creates a topic exchange. This type of exchange is flexible. It routes messages to queues based on the wildcard matches between the routing key and the binding pattern. Binding now. This is the glue. It tells I think this is the binding. I think this is routing, this is the routing key, and then this will be binding, right? This will be binding them. So I'm just going to have binding here. I'm more of a visual person, so I usually just like to visualize stuff. So all right, let's keep going. This is the glue. It tells RabbitMQ if a message arrives at audio.exchange with the routing key of audio process, put it into the audio.processing queue. Oh my god, this is clean as hell, bro. Hold on. This is the glue. It tells RabbitMQ if a message arrives at audio.exchange, right? All right. So we have it tells our RabbitMQ that if a message arrives at audio.exchange, hold on, is that it? Yes, audio.exchange. That means this entire exchange, we're going to have the audio exchange. That will be our broker. That's correct. If the message arrives here within this exchange, so that means the messages don't really get to the routing yet. It just goes to the exchange first. That makes sense. And then if a message arrives at audio.exchange with the routing key, right, it needs to have a routing key called audio process, right? So I'm going to just grab these names. We're going to have this as audio.exchange, audio.exchange. Okay. And then if a message arrives, right? Let's just take this. I'm gonna say message. This will be from the producer. Let's take this producer. And then if a message comes from this producer, good. If a message comes from the producer to this audio.exchange using this routing key, right? So I'm going to have to say routing key. I don't know, this routing key should be with the message together, right? I think the routing key is audio.process. Audio.process is going to be the routing key. I don't know. I don't think this diagram will explain it better, but I think we have a point here. Okay, audio.process, then put it into the audio.processing queue. So that makes sense. I'm going to have to delete all these extra queues that we have here. And I'm gonna just remove this binding, remove this, remove that, remove this. So I think here this should be the exchange, this one. And then this entire thing is going to be our broker. Yep, so I'm going to have this and I'll reduce this a little bit. Okay, and yeah, I think that should do it. I think that should do it. We're just going to have exchange. Yep, this will actually be the exchange. So we have the exchange and then we have the audio.exchange. That's the name of this. And then this is going to be our queue, not queues, but we're going to have queue. We're going to call it queue. And let's just remove this. Let's assume we have only one consumer here, right? So we're going to keep it just simple. We're going to have one consumer. And here we are going to have, this is, let's put it up here. Okay, this is going to be our queue. And then if the message arrives at this with this audio.processing.queue, okay, this is going to be the queue that it will be routed to. And then finally, our consumer can check, can just consume every information that is within this queue. I think that should make sense. Now let's take this up to this. And then, yeah, if a message, right? If a message coming from the producer arrives to this exchange with this routing key, right? Let me just have this arrow here going to routing key, right? I think this should be an important point as well. This will be the routing key called audio.process. So I'm just going to have this routing key, something like this. I'm gonna put it outside here and then let's, okay. I'm more of a visual person, you know, boys. I'm more of a visual person. You get it? I learn a lot by by just looking at stuff, right? So we're going to have, this is going to be our routing. Good. And whatever that will be happening here will be the binding, will be the actual binding. So let's look at this. This is the binding itself now. You get it? So yeah, this is the actual binding. With routing key process, put it into the audio.processing.queue. So that's all that we're going to be doing. Let's have this arrow and take this to this queue. So I think what's happening here within this entire process from broker, from the producer to the exchange to the queue, that is all handled uh by what's the name? I kind of forgetting the name. Oh Lord. And put it here. What could be the name? Yeah, it's gonna be binding, right? So let me take this. Hold on. Okay, and then let me bring this. All right, so everything that's happening here is going to be, let me put this down a little bit here. This as well. So let me take this here. This is going to touch that. And this is going to touch this. So I think we have a clean diagram that is explaining everything that we're going to need. So this is the binding itself, right? Whatever that's happening here is called binding. Binding. All right. That is all, bro. What's happening here is binding. Here's also binding. So I believe we have now a clean concept to work with. Let's continue reading what's going on here. How the flow works. Producer sends message to the audio exchange with label audio process. Exchange looks at its binding rules. Exchange sees the match and pushes the message into the audio.processing queue. Consumer, not shown in your code, listens to that queue and processes the audio file. Would you like me to write a sample producer service to send a message using this configuration? Okay. As you can see, we have this config. I wanted to ask a question. Can't we just add these ones in our config rather than keeping them within this config? What did I just say? In our config rather than using our config. What the fuck is that? But if you guys want to see what I'm talking about, can't we just add them within our application YAML? I mean, it won't really make sense, right? If we add this to the application YAML, let's see. So let's open this source in this application YAML. Store. Yep, I think storing them here would make more sense. But these are just normal routing rules, right? These are just the queue, the exchange, and the routing key. Hmm. I don't know. I don't know what I want, but I really don't know what I want. Make sure we have everything up and running. Right, I think we have everything up and running. Cool. So let me see. We can create the queue, the exchange, and the routing key first, and then we can go ahead and create the rest of the stuff. So we're going to have a queue, new queue is equals to queue, return this queue, that's fine. Topic exchange, we're going to use exchange, return new topic exchange, plus in the exchange, and then binding queue. So we're binding this queue, right? Queue of type queue, which is this one, queue of type queue, which is this. We are binding it to this exchange, which is exchange. Yep, so I think this is already explained here, right? As long as you're coming with this routing key, not actually the producer, but the actual message itself, right? So I'm just going to delete this from here and leave binding like this. And I will take this actual message and bind these two, right? I don't know how we are going to bind this, do the binding, but I might as well just leave it like this. Okay, I think this will partially explain what we are doing, what the binding is actually doing. Okay, so that should do it. Here we are saying return instead of new topic exchange and new this. Here we are doing binding queue to the topic exchange and then return binding builder, bind queue to this exchange using this routing key. Oh my God, like this is straightforward, bro. All right, let's go and explain it. Let's go and try to do it right now. So I'm just gonna go ahead and go inside our main app here, our main config, RabbitMQ config. Then I'm gonna try to do what I just did right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove this for now. And then I'm going to have private static final string. This will be Q name, right? I think we can just keep it as Q. Yeah, according to what we have here, I think we're using Q. Yep, instead of Q name, we're just going to keep it as Q. Q is equals to audio dot processing dot Q. Okay, that is that, and then we can just create these 3 times. Private, boom. We're going to have here exchange, right? We can call this exchange. Exchange. And the last one can be the routing key. Routing key. Okay, so here we are going to have the exchange should be audio dot, I think audio dot process. Wait, the queue is audio processing dot queue, and then we can have exchange. How are we calling it here? Okay, audio exchange, that makes sense. Audio processing exchange, then we can just have audio exchange. I think audio processing exchange makes sense. Dot exchange, and then the routing key can just be how are we calling it there? We're calling it processing dot key. Okay, we are just going to keep it like this, right? Audio processing queue, audio processing exchange, audio processing key, so that it can be explicit, right? All right, let's make it here audio processing key, audio processing queue, audio processing exchange. All right, so I think we have that now. Oh, what else do we really need? That is all. Let's go back here and then just create this. We're going to have a bin. The first bin is going to be public queue from RabbitMQ core call queue. Then we're just going to return new queue and then pass in that queue. All right. This is the queue. And then let's have the topic exchange. Public topic exchange as exchange. Then we're just going to return new topic exchange and we pass in our exchange. Good. Then finally, we're going to have binding. Bin public binding and then, oh God, hold on. Binding builder dot bind. We are binding the queue. We are binding the queue. Yep, to exchange with the routing key. Good. So I think I think we have the entire config. Oh, oh. I think we have the entire. Oh, what else? Well, let me see. Yep, we have the entire stuff. So I think we are good to go now, boys. What else do we really need here? Nothing else really. Maybe charging my computer. Mm, mm. Good. What else again? What else again? That is fine. Now let's go back here and try to understand. Okay, we have that. So now that we have this configuration, your current service and this that's wrong. We need to say private rabbit template and void send message string bit ID, and then we say rabbit okay, rabbit template dot convert and send rabbit this, and then pass in the audio ID. Your endpoint could trigger bit slash upload, then upload file, store URL, send message to this queue. And then the message example will be something like this: bit ID, S3 key, release ID, ABC. Okay. All right. Now let's say before we even rush, critical improvement. Let's see what's going on. Okay. Both of them must connect to that. Both of them must connect to RabbitMQ. If Docker network. I don't know what that means, but it's okay. 1, 2, 3. S3 key. Bit ID. Nope, we're not gonna do bit ID right now. So let's see what we're gonna do. So I think what we have to do now, we have to create a walk. I mean, we already have a walker. Let me stop this. This is a little bit complex, bro. Mm, hmm. Oh, bro, my brain is fried, bro. Can't lie to you guys. My brain is fried, but we have to keep understanding what's going on here. So let's see. Close this. Close that. Close that. Close this. Okay. Mm, mm, mm. So, currently, I think we are done now, right? We just need to send a message from here. So, rabbit template dot convert and send. We need to send this rabbitmq config dot exchange. RabbitMQ config dot routing key. So use the routing. I mean, use the exchange, and the routing key, and then pass in the bit ID. So your API endpoint could trigger bit slash upload, and then upload files, store S3 buckets, and message to the queue. Message example will be bit ID, S3 producer. Yeah, I think that would be it. Now I'm thinking, should okay. So I think we need to actually get this bid ID, right? Let's go to, this was a service, isn't it? RabbitMQ service. Okay, let's go to RabbitMQ service. And before we do anything, RabbitMQ service, let's remove this. We have Rabbit template. That's fine. Here we're going to say public. Let's see what's happening. Okay, void. Since we are not returning anything, we're going to use void. Void. Send. It could be send message, right? Since we're using that. Okay, send message. Here we are sending the actual bit ID. Yep, we are sending the bit ID with us. And then should it be bit ID or the asset ID? I think it should be the asset ID. Bit asset ID actually. Bit asset ID. And where are we getting the bit asset ID from? Wait, should we use the actual bit? I don't know. I don't know. But nonetheless, we're going to have rabbit template dot convert and send. Now here is where we're going to use RabbitMQ. RabbitMQ config dot why? Here we are directly selecting them. RabbitMQ MQ config, isn't it? Did I say private? I think I said private. Yeah, this is supposed to be public actually. Public static. Okay, so we can access them here. Dot exchange, and then RabbitMQ config dot routing key. Then we are going to route the bit asset ID as well with us. So let's see what's happening. Now our endpoint could trigger this. Then this is what's going to happen. Now I don't know how this is communicating with everything that we have, but we shall figure out how. I think we need to say private final. We need to talk to the bit asset repository, call it bit asset repository, so that we can get the bit ID from it. Then we're going to say here if bit asset repository dot find by bit ID. So that means we need to check for bit ID here. Bit ID, and then we can pass in the bit ID. Okay. Bit ID, or else throw an exception. Or we can say bit asset asset is equals to bit asset repository dot find by bit ID, passing the bit ID dot or else throw I don't know how we're going to communicate this, but oh god, let me also have the bit here. We're gonna have final bit repository, not bit service again. Do you have LinkedIn? Yes, I do. I do, brother. I do. Let me show it for you here so you can see it. But I'm going through a lot here. I can't even lie to you, bro. I know this stuff is hard. Things are not easy, bro. Hold on. Where's my LinkedIn at? LinkedIn. There's my LinkedIn, brother. How you doing, bro? K4. Is it K44 gamer? K44J gamer. Mm. There's my LinkedIn, brother. There's my LinkedIn. Okay. I have some issues to fix here. Private final bid repository, bid repository. Hmm. But if we look at the old service, I mean S3 service, is it S3 service? The actual bit asset itself, we have something like this. So here we are saying bit asset repository dot save. We are saving it and then we are checking for the upload status. As long as the upload status is pending, I mean set the upload status to pending and the processing status to pending as well. And then we're going to be dealing with jobs and all that extra stuff. So let's say, let's pass this to ChatGPT and try to give us some knowledge. Okay, this is currently what we do have. Okay. So that is that. We're going to have file storage. For file storage, it's fine. This has nothing to do with what we are doing. This is the bit service. Okay. Oh, entire up pipeline. All right, what else do we need to perform here? I need to open enums. Mm, I think processing startup should be fine. Okay. So currently, I um I am confused. Mm, where mm, the elements or processes combined. Okay, thank you so much, brother. Thanks a lot, man. Let me check you out. Hold on. Did you just send? I can't see it for some reason. You sure you followed the correct one? Oh, this is you. Okay. You got SQL. Let me check out your stuff. West Bengal, India. You got C++, HTML, CSS, MySQL, SQL. You are the only person I've seen with this strange skills right now. Most people are always Next.js, full stack, whatsoever, Node.js, JavaScript, and all that. I haven't seen JavaScript anywhere in your stuff. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. This is so strange to me. I get like, oh, okay, I know most of these languages, but it's just like, oh, because I'm currently studying SQL, which is nice, using Postgres and MySQL too. But I feel like if you already know one thing, it's easier to adjust to like the other. So your components are mostly correct. The confusion comes from where the transition between stages occur. Right now, you have three independent subsystems. Upload orchestration, which is the API server, message dispatch, which is RabbitMQ, and media processing, which is the worker. What is missing is the explicit transition between explicit transition point between upload and processing. Below is the proper pipeline using your exact code structure. Correct pipeline, what you built. Bit creation, handle bit service slash bits, that's okay. Flow, client, read, whatsoever, that's okay. Generate upload URLs handled by bit service dot get upload URLs. This is fine. Returns the upload S3 upload URLs. And then what else? Here we are setting the status to pending. And then client uploads to S3. The front end uploads directly to S3 using preset URLs. That's fine. Your server's not involved in the actual upload. That's correct. We are just verifying using this endpoint to make sure we have the uploaded items. Matter of fact, before just like without us talking too much, I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and try to run this. Just give it a sec. Let me comment out this entire BS that is inside here. And I am going to run this so that I can show you guys like what's happening and what we have so far. Okay, everything is fine. Okay, bro, hurry up, man. Okay, I've seen your reaction. Thank you, Brian. All right. So as you can see, we have God. All right, I'm gonna show you like the entire workflow so far and where we at. We are inside. Where is our application? Why are they small like this, bro? Kind of UI is this? Zoom in. Why is this UI super funny? Why does it look funny? Okay, we're gonna have that. We are inside our dirty bucket, right? So within dirty bucket, we have auth service. And within auth service, we're gonna register a user first. Let's go ahead and log in a user. Okay, user logged in successfully. We can also log out, right? That's an endpoint that we didn't actually think of, but you can tell the cookies disappear when we log out. And let me just clear this response. And you can see we have cookies. So let me go ahead and now create a beat. Creating a beat, we are going to create a beat. Since we have a logged in user, it will allow us to create a beat. All right, so we've created a beat and we have the role of a producer. So we are going to select that the UUID or the ID for the beat. And let's go ahead and now upload this beat to S3 bucket. So matter of fact, let me open my S3 bucket to make sure it is okay. Let me remove this. I'm going to remove this as well for now. Okay, I'm going to have S3 bucket, AWS S3 bucket. What's Data Bucket? Data Bucket is a music selling platform, right? For music producers, just to sell their beats. Yeah. If you know Spotify, but think Spotify for beats, but not really Spotify because Spotify is just about streaming. This one is not about streaming, right? It's actual selling. It's actual business going on. Obviously, Spotify they charge subscriptions and all that, but this one is just like real life selling beats, not just streaming them. Chris, yo, Chris, my boy, why dirty? Um, I don't know. I just like that name. It's super controversial. And what's funny is when I was even trying to when I was trying to get down 1, 2, 1, 4, 8, 6. Oh wow, who else should I select from this? Okay, this should be all right. You guys, I know I'm using my root email here, but don't worry, everything is protected. All right. Everything is well protected with two-factor authentication. What's really going on here again? Oh God, bro, come on, bro, don't stress me out, man. Sign into a different account. Like, well, I'm just gonna have to use this. Okay, I think this is AWS. I'll show you. I'll tell you something, right? Fun fact. That name has been super controversial. When I was trying to register a company under that name, I was rejected 3 times. They kept on thinking it's like some weird application, right? So I'm like, no, it's not a weird application at all. It's just the choice of name. But I like that in Bucket because um if you're a music producer, right? Most music producers have this stereotype of just being locked in. Like some people don't want to bathe, you just sort of lock it. So that's where I picked the daddy from. And then the bucket is more like just where you store your beats, where you throw your beats, just like a straight bucket. You understand? So that's how the naming came about. All right, so let's hit this S3 bucket for dirty bucket. All right, it's empty for now, right? So let's go back again to S3 uploads. And here we're going to have to just pass in this bit ID. If I try to send this right now, you see we have a bit not found because we don't have a bit, obviously, that we need to upload. So I'm just going to go ahead and grab this bit, and I'm going to go to body. Not actually body. This will allow us to just get the URLs, right? So this is the audio file name, and I actually want to use the same file name as whatsoever that we are going to be passing here. So this is like low piano. I'm just going to copy this entire file name because that's what we shall grab from the user on the front end, and I'm just going to go back here and replace it with this so that we can have that. Okay, so audio file name. It looks kind of ugly, but it is what it is. Let's go back again, and this time we're just going to go to this, and we shall just pick this lead code image, right? This is the JPEG. Let's just go back here and replace this with this. So let's now get those URLs. Let's send this and see what's happening. So as you can see, we have these two URLs. Well, it's super zoomed in, so I'm just gonna have to zoom out a little bit. All right, I think this is cool. Now I can grab these entire URLs, and right now, if I just hit this endpoint to verify, it's going to fail for us, right? Bit not found. So let's just go back here again, go to parameters, grab this same exact bit, and then go to verify. And it's not going to return for us anything because we currently don't have anything in our S3 bucket. As you can see, it's empty, right? So let's go back here and try to verify. False. We are getting audio exists, false, audio size 0, image exists, false, image size 0, upload status is missing, and processing status is pending, which is nice, right? Then let's just go back now and try to let's now upload this, right? So we're going back to URLs. Mind you, these URLs are going to expire after 15 minutes, right? So they are time bound. We can just tighten it up to like 15 seconds whatsoever. We're in production, we are going to change it accordingly. But for now, let's just keep it as 15 minutes. I'm going to remove everything here, paste this, save this, and then go back to our upload URLs and grab this, go to images, and I'm just going to go here, delete this, paste this. All right, so now let's start uploading them directly to S3. We're going to send this. The audio is done. I'm gonna go back here and send this JPEG. Now there's an issue. There's an issue. As you can see, we are trying to send JPEG here, but the format was only JPEG, like JPEG, right? Let's look at could the name play a role in it? No, I don't think the name played any role. I don't think the name played any role. The image is probably gonna have an issue. I don't know why, but okay, let's go back to getting these URLs. This is the image URL, copy, and let's get the audio, I mean the image. Select this, remove that, press this, and let me try to send again. Okay, we have an issue. I don't know why. The signature, check your key, and signing method. I think this could be the problem, right? The name here. We have JPEG, and we probably have a different name within our body. So here we're using this JPEG, but in our code, we are accepting JPEG with, let me just go back to S3, bit asset. Now you can see here, we are sending JPEG. This is a content type that we are accepting. But the content type here that was used to sign the image, the content type is different, right? If we go to this, you see we have different content types for the images as well. So let's see content type here. So we have some issues that we need to fix. Oh God, I'm just gonna go ahead and change this entire name from this JPEG like this to JPG, or maybe we can have again image slash JPEG like this, right? And then we are gonna have to create again different signing keys, right? So I'm just gonna stop this and start it again. So, oh God, what's funny? Did we change the validate? Did we change this validate? Let me first go back here and we'll make sure. Okay, we have it as validate. That's nice. Okay, that is fine. Let's go back here now and I'm gonna go to the image and I'll try to send again. I think this time it's going to fail. All right, because we need to get new URLs. Let's go to the body. This time, I don't think I need for the audio. So let me just comment out the audio and let's send this. Okay, we need them to be two of them. Okay, let's send. All right, now let's just grab this and let's go back here. Let's press this and let's see what's gonna happen. Send. All right, now we have a problem. We have a real life problem. We really have a problem. We have a problem. So JPEG, and we are using JPEG here too. Let me return this to see what exists and what doesn't. False, false, missing, pending. Okay. Let me start the flow again from scratch. Let me send this. Well, we have a bit here. We have only one, which is audios, right? We have the actual audio, but we haven't sent the actual audio file. Yeah, we're going to have trouble, bro. All right, let's go back and let's delete this. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. All right, let's delete that. And I'm just gonna go ahead and stop this. Then I'll say Docker compose. Matter of fact, I'm gonna clear this. Docker compose down V, delete everything, and then go ahead and start it again. Okay. Oh, my back hurts. My back hurts bad. Okay, we are done creating that. What do we have here? JPEG. That's the content type. We're not supposed to have that within the content type. See what's going on. Okay. This is the actual audio. So content type should be 1, I think. Here, if the lowercase, okay, if it ends with JPEG, then take it. Or it also ends with JPG, then take it. Or why is it tripping? Let me stop this. This could be the problem, right? This could be the main problem. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove that and start it again. Okay. Okay. Wait, it's up and running? Good. So let's start again from the auth. We first log in and then we go ahead and, we register, then we log in. And then from there, we create a beat. We need to copy this ID. Then we go to getting upload URLs. Let's go to parameters. First is, and within the body, this ends with JPEG. This is a JPG. If I go back here, we need if if this audio file name ends with .wav or the image ends with .jpeg, and okay, well, this could be the issue, but we do not have any issue like that. So what's going to happen again? All right, that's fine. Here, let's say audio image slash JPEG, JPEG or GPG. Oh my Lord. Okay, fine. Let's try to send this URLs. Now we have the first URL. That's gonna be for the audio. Let's press that. Let's send the audio to S3 bucket. That's fine. Let's go back here. Grab this. Let's send this, and let's try to send this. Okay, now we have a problem here. I don't know why that's the problem, but we have a problem. JPEG, but we actually said we are signing with JPG, right? So that means we need to actually change this name. We need to change our actual signing here, right? We need to change our actual signing key to JPG. Or we can just accept anything. I really don't, anything that's an image. No, we shouldn't be able to accept anything that's an image, bro. Let's try with JPG and see how it goes. Okay, stop this, run it again. Okay, let me try to log in a user if it will accept. Oh, it's accepting. That's nice. So that means we have a user, right? If we create a bid, we have a logged in user. Our bid is the same title already exists, so that means we can just grab all the bits from here. So let's just grab all the bits so that we can get the ID. Nice. Let's go back here. Parameter, I think this is the same exact bit, so we don't have to really do too much. We're just gonna get upload URLs again. Upload URLs this time. Let's go back to S3, refresh this so that we can delete this bit that already exists. Good. This, just go ahead and delete it. Delete. Okay. All right, now we're going to use this copy audio. That is going to be that. And then image, we can use this URL for the image. All right, so now let's send the image. Let's see. Okay, so now the image is the one with the problem. This is gonna piss me off, bro. Let's just send the audio. But the audio is working. Why is the image not working, bro? What the hell? It used to work. Oh, it could be the name. We're saying here, let me see. Content type should be JPG. And what's the content type here? Headers, hidden. Content type, image or JPEG. Okay, this is using JPEG here, and we're using JPG that side. So that's a problem. Can't we add another content type? Okay. So that's not gonna work. We have to just use this JPEG like this. Because this is what Postman is using. It's using this image that. Okay, what else? We need to restart the entire flow. Yo, my guy, now you're a big baller. I came here to talk money. Let's talk money, brother. Let's talk money. Hey, I'm not a big baller, brother. I'm just up and coming creator, you know. Obviously, bro, like with content is not predictable, bro. Like sometimes you can have zero, next minute you have something in your account. Yeah, so what do you want to know, my brother? What do you want to know? I love to talk about money too, you know. I'm not like I'm not a person who's scared of stuff, but at the end of the day, you know, it's like something that is, I'll let you know. So what's up? All right, let's go ahead and continue. We have a bid already. We just have to generate these URLs one more time and try. Okay, so this one doesn't end with JPEG, so that's the reason why it's failing, I think, right? If we had this as JPEG, it should have worked. So since this is not ending with JPEG, let's go back to the body. No, image, body. Okay, dot JPEG like this. All right, that's fine. Let me generate the URLs first, and we shall see what's up. So S3 is empty now. Console. All right, what's going on here? Delete this, delete that. So delete these objects, close it off. Okay, now we have nothing there. So let's generate the URLs one more time. This is not gonna work because it's different from the signing key. So we're just gonna have to take JPEG like this. We're gonna have to work with this JPEG. So let's just uh, run through this. Okay, now we have this audio. Let's pass in that. And let's go back here and grab this image. Yeah. All right, now let's try to send the image. It's going to pass. Oh, it has failed. Okay, why? Why? This will succeed. Why has the image failed? It is not about this. Uh it's not about this. So what could be the problem? Okay, I am gonna have to ask AI what the issue is. All right. So I'm already confused right now. So let's go back here and say, what if I want to accept uh what if I wanna accept JPEG and JPG as content? Okay, let's see. Hmm. JPEG and JPG content types for asset uploads. Okay, let's see what's going on. Oh, Perplexity is super pro. It's like this stuff is super clean, dog. JPEG and JPEG content types for your uploading will update the precise URL generation, add the content type validation. This ensures client requests much executors while keeping your file name checks for safety. So this is fine. That's what we have. Modify the get URLs method to accept both meme types. We're gonna have something like this. Generate present URLs with flexible content type. Client speak JPEG or JPG, whatever. So we're gonna have this, and then images, standard tab for S3. S3 accept both. Okay. So the problem is not with S3 then. Controller validation. Um Actually, let's see what's going on. Uh we are using designed URLs. And I guess it's Postman restriction. How much is the CPM? Hmm. Well, CPM is like cost per mil, right? Or cost per mile, whatever. That's like how much advertisers are willing to pay. Mm, I don't know if you want to know my own, because if we're talking my own money, I mean my own CPM, it's not that much, right? Given most of my audience like from India, others from US. Yeah, but if I can give you a rough estimate, a rough number is about six or whatsoever. And then the RPM is about four, five, or two. It's something like that. It's not really stable. In like today, I mean, this month it might go up to like two, right? $2. Sometimes it can go up to like 0 point something. It depends actually. But for the entire month, you can make maybe about $100 or $200. I don't know. It depends. It depends, really. I'm not sure. I haven't been monetized that much. I would take anything five. Let's see. Yeah, yeah. It's going like the thing is like this, right? For live streams, it's different from like long form content because live streams they actually generate more when you're streaming. I mean, when you're off stream compared to when you're streaming. Like you might be on stream and then your stuff might be at like $1. Then when you get off the stream, it'll be at around $3, $5, right? So it is really like fluctuating. But if you really want to make good money, you should be targeting US audience. Yeah. You should be targeting US audience. As soon as your audience is like mostly from third world countries, you're not gonna make shit. I have a friend, bro, who has close to 10,000 subs and he ain't making shit. He's not making shit at all, which is crazy. So YouTube is crazy. You cash out for only 1 month or the paycheck for the month? Oh, it's one. It's 28 days actually. Not even 1 month. It's 28 days. But it's up from there. And another catch, I even got like a sponsorship deal, right? I got a sponsorship deal with a company called Zenflow. I don't know if I can show you guys. These guys they actually didn't want me to disclose the money, right? Because obviously it's a company shit. But they paid me some good money. I'm not gonna lie to you. For my standard, they paid me good money. Especially I'm in Africa, my brother. That's a lot of money. Yeah, you feel me? So yeah, this company they sponsored me and they paid me some good money. What are we doing today, chump? Oh, XX was good, bro. How you doing? But bro, trust me, your content you're gonna make money. Like I see you like you're getting good views and stuff like that. Now, here's the thing, right? This is a friend I was showing you guys. I was telling you guys about. This is my friend. Let me open YouTube so I can just show you my friend. He's like doing great, bro, but he's not making pennies. Like he hasn't made money at all, bro, which is crazy. Which is like literally crazy, bro, if you ask me. No, code wise, yeah, he's here. Like he be getting some good, like bro, look at his let me show you most popular. He has like a video, this 7 hours. It's 41K, 23K. Bro, can you believe this guy hasn't made even $70? Can you just believe that, bro? He hasn't made $70, bro. I think he already made $7. Yeah, but he couldn't withdraw his money back then. Like I think 2 months ago, bro, I felt bad for him, dog. But I think he's gonna catch up. He's gonna make some good money. I think he's making great money from sponsorships. It could be, I don't know, I'm not sure, but from what we discussed, he hasn't made shit from that. So yeah, yeah. Most of his audience from Pakistan, India, Africa, Nigeria. Okay, Nigeria is in Africa. What's going on with me? But yeah, he hasn't made anything at all. Not even $70, bro. That's crazy. So that is YouTube for you, brother. You might find somebody that has like 200 views and he's making $1 or $5 from that, right? And if they upload like 20 videos, they're gonna close with like 100 or something, or maybe $50, right? Which is crazy, right? So that's how YouTube works, bro. Most times you shouldn't chase views. You should chase watch time because that's what's gonna pay you more. But if you chase views, well, if you chase views and watch time at the same time, that will be better. But I would say if you're making content, just try to at least aim for people staying on your channel, like watching multiple videos of yours, and also like maybe retaining them. And that's an advice for me too, because I literally want to get good at editing, and I think I'll try to get into that. And I have other channels, by the way. I have other channels too. So I have other channels that I'm running. Yeah, but this company has paid me some good money. I like this company, and I'm in talks with them. I might end up working with them as well. So I need to lock in and upload more, bro. The channel has potential. I believe I can make more from YouTube than my job in a year. You can, bro. Most definitely. Oh, but bro, when we talk about YouTube, I'm very passionate. Like when it comes to YouTube, I'm too passionate, bro. Because look, within 9 months, right, I've made more money from YouTube than I've ever made, like since I was born. Can you just think about that? It's crazy. I've got it like I've paid off my MacBook M3 right now. I've paid it off using YouTube money. I haven't paid shit from my own pocket. And I'm a student, right? I'm still in my third year, which is nice, right? If you ask me, yeah, I guess that's it, my brothers. So the audience is good. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Most of my audience from US. That's true. I have audience like most of my audience from US, especially when I upload like if I show you right now, let me just go to YouTube, right? I think I have let me just go to view channel. You see if you go to like this section of videos, right? You see, well, this is not performing well, but if you look at this one, what is it? What is it? Let me just go to like popular. You see this one? This video alone, bro. Oh my god, bro. This video is my favorite, bro. This video has gotten more audience from US, even this one, right? And this one as well. And I feel like it has something to do with like the audio that I'm playing in the background. You just vlogging and having little bit older. Maybe it's all the I don't know, but just that's how YouTube works, bro. Just lucky, man. My ratio of views and subscribers right now is crazy. Obviously, it may be hard to keep it up, but I wish I can get a sponsor soon. Yeah, bro. And now another thing about the sponsors, they literally want you to get 1K first. I think as soon as I hit 1K, I started getting emails from like people wanting me to like work with them, even when I'm not getting like as much crazy views, right? So that's how I look at it. It's like, all right, as soon as you hit 1K, I promise you have so many guys in your email. And another concept you should always like in your banner, just include your business email. Like, do not add your other email that's like personal. Just put the business email, very bulky, and add it in your description or whatsoever. They will always hit up that email. I promise you, bro. I promise you, bro. I promise you. I promise you. I promise you, my G. Let me check out like how my let me show you how my email looks like right now. Like my stuff. It's let me go to my business email. You can tell like I have a lot of business stuff going on here. So mostly, where is it? This was your stuff today, right? So this is when we closed out like the entire payment deal. As you can see, thank you. We shall process the payment today, and boom, that's when I got my money. And yeah, we're good. Both sides, we okay. Gotta go eat and lock in, man. Editing the next video. Okay, brother. Go have fun, brother. Go have fun. Okay, no problem, man. Let me lock in as well. So see you tomorrow. Whenever you upload a video, I'll watch it, my brother. Let's get it. Postman often adds or overrides content type headers automatically when using present S3 URLs, causing signature mismatches or upload failures. It's common client-side quirk, not a server restriction. Postman fix or present. Okay. Configure likely for the image, audio, whatsoever. Paste the full present URL, e.g. that, and then delete all the auto-generated headers, post-mortem headers like content tag, user agent, manually add one, requires extras. All right. Server-side adjustment. Okay. Oh, okay. I shouldn't include the content type. Hmm. Hello, brother. Deepan Sai. What's good, my G? How you doing, brother? How's life, man? I think signing these ones without the content type sounds better. I don't know. I don't know, bro. I'm thinking I should not use the content type. I think Jesus Christ. I think we can just take off this. Yeah, this with extension that makes sense. But what if we don't enforce the content type? Let me ask. What if we don't enforce the content type? What's gonna happen? We don't enforce the content type, and I wanna auto detect them, given the files uploaded. What's gonna happen? Hello, brother. Kind of good, bad at the same time. Exams are coming up, and I don't have time for my projects. It's a while since I was working on my project. Yeah, bro, man, I'm telling you, bro, I have exams too. Like for us, our system is just messed up, man. Uh, I just want you to lock in, bro, because that's what I'm trying to do. I just want to lock in too. I just want to stop giving excuses. Dropping content type enforcement and precise your signatures work without it. You can auto-detect post-upload using file name extensions or S3 metadata verify for true detection and Apache Tiki-Taka lightweight to inspect magic bytes via the head if needed. What's going on? Content type is off. Ah, so auto-detect from S3 metadata or fall back to the extension. String detect audio type is equals to detect name type from key asset.audio key. Okay, string detected image type e and then audio slash then invalid audio type. If detected this equals image or JPEG slash JPEG, normalize the JPEG throw by request invalid image type. This only JPEG allowed. Wait, what? Image slash JPEG? Hmm. What's going on? Simple helper, base upgradable to TikTok. I don't know what's going on here, man. How are you balancing college projects, too much assignments? Man, I can tell you one thing for real, bro. One thing for real is that life is what you make it, right? I have college, I have a gazillion things to do. I just always say this to myself, like I am going to be responsible for my life. So I might as well just take chances right now as I'm still in my 20s, right? So when it comes to projects, I just make sure I find time to code. Like that's just it, non-negotiable, without any motivation, without shit. Every day, just maybe get on live. And live stream is what is encouraging me to keep going for it. So either live streaming or just coding, I do it every day, non-negotiable. That's just how I work. I don't know about you, brother. You just gotta keep going. Yeah, I feel like you need to find that burning desire in your heart and just stick to it. That's all I'll say, my brother. I say, add helper, simple extension based, upgradable ticker, type from key. So it is key dot substring, last index, or to lowercase, return switch extension, wave, case wave, then audio slash wave, case JPEG, or JPEG, then image at JPEG, default application of this flag invalid. Okay, for robust magic by detection, rename files this. We're gonna find Apache, Tika, that's fine. Advanced detect, content fetch for full accuracy. I kind of like this concept. Detect meme type from key. I kind of like this concept. I don't know. So I just have to add this. Uh, detect with Tika string key. Fetch first kilobyte. No. So we're gonna do this. We're going to add this pom.xml, and then we shall have a helper function like this. And then after that, we are going to have this kind of extension check, and that is all. I need some inspiration for mine. Why do you need inspiration, bro? As a man, why do you need inspiration, bro? You need to just work without any inspiration. You need to grind, like just get annoyed and start working. Okay, let's look at this. This is for the extension and file name. That is fine. Is that. Hello. Mm-hmm. What's up? Alright, I'm still on. It's fine. It's good. Alright, later. Okay, baby. Mm. For design, brother, I need some inspiration for design. Oh, you mean design? Oh, for the design. I think you have a point there, bro. Design, we all need inspirations, bro. The way I hate design, I don't know, bro. I don't know if it's just me. I hate design, bro. Okay, let me take off this content type for me. Let's take all this content type around of this stupid content type. We need to just check this out. Bit asset. We don't need this content type, but we're gonna have to check now. Audio file. This extra shit. Remove it. Remove this extra stuff. Bit asset processing. Upload, and just need to come here and okay. So we need to add this sticker. I don't know what sticker is standing for, but I'm just gonna have to grab it. Let's go command one, form.xml. Maybe I can add this as a dependency, and I'm gonna refresh this. Apache ticker. Okay. Let's create the helper function. Let's create a helper function, private. What are we actually creating? Let's look at here. Nope. Okay, string detect meme type from key. This would be a string detect meme type from key. Then we pass in the string in. Yep, and we're going to have a switch case. All right, we have an extension called string extension. We're going to get key dot substring key dot last index of dot plus one, then dot to lowercase. Return switch, take an extension, and if the case is wave, then give us the audio slash wave. If the case is JPEG or JPG, then give us image slash JPEG, and then default to application dot octet stream. That is the flag, and I think that is all that we're gonna need. So just gonna go back here, and where is the helper function? Okay, here we're gonna have a string extension is equals to key dot substring last index. I think we're gonna get the key, right? Key dot last index of, this should be dot, that is the string, and then key, not key dot length, actually is going to be what, plus one, right? We add one to plus one, then to lowercase. Okay, and then we just return switch. Now the switch is going to contain the extension. Then here we're going to find case. In case it is in case it is what? Let's see what's going on. In case the extension is wave, then we give us audio.wave. And then another case, if it is JPEG or it is JPG, then give us that. Not audio, but image. Or else default not to unknown, but default to application octet string. Application octet string. That is that. What else? All right, I think that should do it. That is our detect meme type, and then we can just use it within our, well, the verify here is fine. We okay with this. We can just have here. I think for this one, right, we need to actually understand what's going on here. Let's see. String detected audio type. Okay, detected audio type and detected image type. Then we can just have this starts with audio slash, then invalid this. Okay, if it doesn't start with audio slash, and if it doesn't start with J slash JPEG, then we're gonna have some problem. Okay, so instead of audio response, matter of fact, I think the rest remains the same. What's going on here with the audio response? Let's have a look. Image response. Mm, okay. Mm, God. Mm. This is for verify uploads? What the hell? Generate percent URLs, we're just going to have this. Oh Lord. What's happening here? Get upload URLs. Well, getting upload URLs here should remain the way it is. Jesus Christ, what did I do, bro? Okay. Hmm. Okay, I think now this is fine. I think this is fine for the inputs. If this is ending with lowercase dot w, whatever. Let's see. Audio WAV file. Auto detect this from S3. And then generate percent URLs. This has no content type. All right, that's cool. So that means we are going to remove content type from here. We just remove content type. XML 0. Let's remove content type. All right. We're kind of looking good now. Private string. Detect name type from key. And then string key. Going to have string key. Extension is equals to key dot substring, and then key dot plus index of plus one dot to lowercase. We're done. Switch. Switch extension. Oh, bro, this guy's calling me. See. Return switch for the first case. We're going to have in cases WAV file, then return audio slash WAV slash WAV. The second case, if it's JPEG, not audio again, this is going to be image slash JPEG. This is going to be two cases, JPEG. And then default to application. Okay, that is done. And we are good. Now here is where we need to verify now. Okay. Let's see. Of course, I've left the live in the background for the watch time. Oh boy, bro. Thank you. I'm actually about to go off in some minutes, right? I'm about to go off. Yeah, because I'm kind of hungry. I have my food waiting for me here. I don't know if you guys have this drink in your place, but I love this drink so much. I'm so addicted to this drink. I like it. So yeah, I'm gonna be going off shortly. I feel like I'm a little bit tired now, and the rest of the things tomorrow we can just finish them up. Okay. So I just wanna finalize with these simple errors that I wanna fix, and then we can see what next. So update with service to code generate this DTO name be this images, note that argument. That's correct. So under this, yep, so we're going to add this detected audio type and detected image type, and we're gonna get this asset dot get audio key. The same applies to this, and then we check if the detected audio doesn't start with audio. I mean, if the detected doesn't start with audio, we throw this error, and if this doesn't start with this, then we normalize it, we throw bad request detected this, and then we add only JPEG a lot. I think we already understand that, so rather than typing it, I'm just gonna have to grab it directly. So I'm just gonna come here, say string. Hmm. So we Alright, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and grab this one rather than typing it again myself from scratch. Let me just type the first one. What was the name? Detected audio type. Okay, detected audio type is equals to, we are gonna use detect meme type from key, and then we're gonna pass in the asset dot get audio key from a string, and then the same applies to the second one, which is going to be for the image. Detected image type, and then this is going to be dot get image. All right, and from there we are just going to now it's a matter of checking these if statements, and that's all. Just pass in these if statements, and we are good. I'm just gonna have to remove this. Right, I think that is all. I think that is all. What else again? Nothing. Just gonna stop this, stop that, and see what's happening. Okay. I think I'll continue from here tomorrow, boys. I'm just gonna close this off. Close LinkedIn. Okay, I'm just gonna close this as well. I'll continue from here tomorrow. So this, I will just save it and close it off. Refresh this, make sure I have nothing in it. Okay, let me delete. Delete, delete. All right, so let's try it one more time. I'm going to run this. Matter of fact, before I run anything, I just want to Docker compose, remove everything. Then I'm gonna run the application to see. Good night, bro. Yeah. It's even I'm done. I'm done actually. It's even dark this side. It's 9 p.m. this side. So catch up tomorrow, my brother, no problem. Let's see. Let me hope I don't have any error. Okay, I don't have any single error. Everything is fine. Okay, let's test out everything starting from here. If I just log in right now, I'm not gonna be allowed because I have nothing. Okay, bad credentials. Just log in, and then we can create a beat. We can grab this beat info. Actually generate this is 3. Let's go back to the params. Oh god. I'm going to go ahead and go to the body and then send this. Now I'll copy this and then go here grab this and I will just send. Okay, also go here, grab copy, go to this, and I'll just send. Good. Now it's working without any issues. Yep. So if I refresh this, we have bits, we have that. Good. We have audios. Within audios, I think that okay, it's one. That's nice. I actually like what's happening here. Why is it 0? I do not understand why it's 0. 0 bytes. Why is it 0 bytes? Images. Why are there 0 bytes? I do not understand. What's going on? So let's check for the existence. Verify. Let's send this. Bit not found. Okay, let's go back here. Go right here. Verify existence. Okay. And let's send here. False, false, false. Missing, missing, missing. Why? What's really happening? My lord, what? Oh god. Yeah, bro, this will be the problems I'll solve tomorrow. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done now. Let me just go here. Say git add what? Git add copy of what? Git commit feature implemented three and verification workflow. Bit as a feature, no. Number added equal for content types and there's 3 verification flow. I'm just gonna stop here. Okay, git push. All right, boys, I am done. I'm gonna refresh this. Okay, I'm gonna close this off and this as well. Okay, and go ahead and delete that. So I'll just continue from here tomorrow, boys. I'm out of here, man.